Hmm? I can't hear you because I have my AirPods in. Hi, Lee. Ready and waiting, I see. Give me just a little heads up or notification, thumbs up that you might be able to hopefully you can hear me. That's always the tricky thing. Yay! Lee, what's the weather like down there in Florida today? And everyone else who's here, let me know where you're coming from. I'm here in Indianapolis, and it's very typical, like December weather in Indianapolis. It's gloomy, cold and gloomy. Hey, Annalie. Yes, we can hear you in Sweden. Oh, I love it. I'm assuming it's chilly there in Sweden. What time is it getting dark there for nighttime? I'm assuming days are pretty short. We have about 3 minutes. If you are yeah, in Stockholm, it gets dark around 3:30. Yeah, so let's see, I've been to Stockholm a few times, once in February, and I remember the days just being super short and cold, but beautiful. Aw. For today's practice, you may want to have 2 blocks if you tend to use them in your practice regularly. We aren't going to be doing anything that necessarily requires you to have a block, but if you tend to use blocks and like them to bring the floor up a little closer for various things, um, it might be useful. Annalie, in February, we actually think it's getting lighter. Yeah, I'm sure after being in Stockholm for the entire winter, yeah, I suspect that it's getting lighter by the time February rolls around. Hi, Sarah. What's it like in Rhode Island, Sarah? Cold, I'm assuming. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. We have Florida represented, Rhode Island, so New England, and Sweden, a worldwide little yoga community here today. We have 1 more minute. If you're just now joining, I cannot see you or hear you, so to communicate with me, you got to communicate with me through the chat. Yeah, Sarah, cold, missing the warm yoga studio. Me too. I'm in our basement, which is the coldest area of our house. I'm grateful for the space to teach and be out of everybody's way, but it's definitely the chilliest part of the house. I also share this space with my son. So on that side of the screen are drums and multiple electric guitars and amplifiers and things like that. Honey, your screen. My tech support, which would be my husband, is going to be crossing behind me because we, as usual, are filming with multiple devices so that we have the live stream version and then a little bit more higher quality version. Great. All right. Go ahead and get this one started. All right, let's see what time it is. It is noon on the dot, and in the interest of keeping everybody's schedule as they wish, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I will go over there and get myself set up. All right, I think we are in business. So have to do my little intro spiel so that we can edit that in. My name is Valerie Knopik. Welcome to Yoga Medicine Online. For today's practice, you'll potentially need 2 blocks if you tend to use them in your typical practice to bring the floor up a little closer to you. But there's not going to be anything in class that requires 2 blocks, but make sure you have them on hand if you like to use blocks in your regular practice. Today is a fluid flow, and the intention behind this flow is to allow us or encourage us to be adaptable. So there will be some potentially interesting and unfamiliar transitions today, and we'll be keeping it pretty close to the ground for the first part of practice before coming up. But that's not to say we won't be taking some interesting shapes. So let's go ahead and start laying down on our backs. And if it's comfortable in your hips, I'm going to suggest for you to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop open into Supta Baddha Konasana. Now, if you know that this position is uncomfortable for you, then take any leg position that works. For now, just whatever position your legs fall into comfortably, just begin to focus on your breathing. And as we embrace this intention of fluidity, I'd like for you to find this fluid nature to your breathing, almost wave-like. So that as you take the breath in and out, you almost envision yourself riding the waves of your breath. We'll be incorporating this intention of fluidity throughout the practice in various ways, whether it's kind of this visualization of riding the wave of your breath, or trying to encourage like the movement of each and every vertebra, like so that your spine is moving in this wave-like motion. Or maybe it's just finding that adaptability to shift between shapes and in different directions on the mat, so that you can, as Bruce Lee says, be like water, to learn how to adapt and be flexible, which is also so helpful off the mat as well. So just take a few more breaths here, bathing in the quality, the wave-like quality of your breath. You might even find that your breath is deep enough that you feel that sensation of the breath washing over the back of the throat. There might be an audible sound to the breath that sounds like ocean waves. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. Fluidity of breath. Which will allow us to hopefully tap some fluidity in our bodies. And by extension, our minds, to be a little bit less rigid today, to soften around our heart edges. And from here, use the assistance of your hands against your outer thighs to close the knees in together if your legs were still in that Baddha Konasana position. And heel toe your feet out as wide as your mat. So you're just taking the knees into the opposite rotation, or the legs into opposite rotation, letting the knees knock in towards one another. They may not touch, but just find that internal rotation of the femur, the thigh bone, for a moment. And then hug the knees in towards your chest and give yourself a squeeze, clasping on around the shins or the knees, whatever you can comfortably grab. Give yourself a hug, a thank you for making it onto your mat today, wherever you are in the world. And just take a little rocking and rolling from side to side, not thinking about it too much, not letting it be too rigid. kind of moving in an organic way that allows you to just feel or begin to tap into some fluid movements where you're not thinking too much about it or analyzing it, but rather tapping into what you need, ability to adapt, be formless, be shapeless. If you're moving the knees in one direction, just make sure that you balance yourself out there. And then begin to release the knees or the shins, whatever you got. Plant your feet on the floor about hip distance apart. We're going to set up for some pelvic tilts in this bridge-like shape. So it looks like we're ready to press up into bridge, but we aren't going to press up all the way just yet. We're going to isolate some movements through the pelvis. So the head and the shoulders will stay on the floor here for these first few rounds. From here, press down into your feet. And on your inhale, allow yourself to kind of exaggerate the curve in the low back. So tilt the pubic bone towards the heels. That will be your inhale. It's kind of like cow, on hands and knees. And then on the exhale, press into the feet, curl the pubic bone towards your low ribs. And you might feel the arch lessen. For most of us, it will. And the back of the tailbone might lift off the floor just a touch. So like cat cows in this position. So inhale. Find that little arch in the low back, tilt the pubic bone towards the backs of the heels. And then exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the ribs. Let's do one more like that. Inhale. So it's just the pelvis moving to the best of your ability. And exhale. Now we're going to start to take it into bridge pose. But we're going to start the same way. So on the inhale, allow the pubic bone to drop towards the heels and keep the tailbone on the floor here. And then on the exhale, begin to curl pubic bone towards ribs and begin to lift the hips up into a loose bridge. It doesn't need to be the highest bridge ever. And then inhale, lower the vertebrae one by one until the back of the pelvis just taps the mat. And then exhale, lift the hips again, curling pubic bone to low ribs. And keep this movement going. So the inhale lowers each and every vertebrae until the back of the pelvis just hovers or taps. And then the exhale curls the pubic bone towards the low ribs. It doesn't need to be super forceful, and lift the hips. One more like that. Inhale lowers you down. And the exhale will lift you up. Now we're going to add the arms. So on the inhale, lowers you down. Your arms will stay down by your heels. And on the exhale, as the hips lift, sweep the arms up and overhead. They may or may not come all the way down to the floor up overhead. And then the inhale, sweep the arms down towards the heels as the back of the pelvis taps the mat. And then the exhale lifts you up, sweeps the arms up and over as the hips rise. Use the whole breath. So inhale, one vertebrae at a time, lower yourself down, arms sweep forward towards the heels. And exhale, lift the hips, arms sweep up and over. Let's do two more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Ride that breath. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lower yourself all the way down this time. Back of the pelvis lands. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Find a little rolling from side to side here. And then choose. I'm going to cue rocking and rolling up to a seated position. But if you don't like that sensation on the spine, just roll onto one side and we'll eventually meet in a seated position that looks something like a supported boat pose or Navasana. So once you come to sit, you're balancing on your sitting bones there. You can hold on behind the backs of the knees and just let your tiptoes find the floor. We're going to take some cat-cow movements in this position, adding this balancing action. Of course, if your balance feels a little off today, plant the whole foot on the floor. Think more about articulating the vertebrae through this series as best you can, and just take whatever piece of this feels good. There will be an abdominal component. Get excited. So hold on behind the backs of the knees. On your inhale, lift through the chest like cow pose. And then exhale, round, chin to chest, eye sockets to the knees like cat. Inhale, you're going to lower yourself all the way down. You can hold on behind the knees to get you there. Clasp the hands behind the head, and then on your exhale, curl, eyes, nose, chin, elbows up towards the ceiling. Pull belly down. Now you might stay here, the tiptoes may be hovering, or you might extend the legs at an angle. You might also reach the arms forward. So lots of options here. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, begin to lift yourself back up into boat pose. And then let the tiptoes find the floor. Inhale, lift through the chest like cat. Exhale, eye sockets to the knees like cow. Inhale, lower yourself all the way down. Clasp the hands behind the head. And on your exhale, lift. Eyes, nose, chin, elbows straight up to the ceiling. Pull belly down. Maybe legs extend forward. Maybe arms extend forward. Take a huge inhale here. And then exhale, lift up. Navasana, boat pose. We're going to do two more. Tiptoes to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest like cat. Exhale, coil eye sockets toward the knees like cat. This should be like cat, sorry. Inhale, release all the way down. Clasp the hands behind the head. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift. Eyes, nose, chin, elbows straight up to the ceiling. Pull belly down. Maybe legs extend forward. Maybe arms extend forward. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, lift all the way up. Navasana. You got one more. Tiptoes to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest like cow. Got it right that time. Exhale, eye sockets to the knees like cat. Inhale, release all the way down. Clasp the hands behind the head. On your exhale, lift. Eyes, nose, chin, elbows straight up to the ceiling. Pull belly down. Maybe legs and arms extend. Take an inhale. This is your last one. Exhale, lift up into boat and pause. You might be holding on behind the knees. You might have your tiptoes on the floor. You might have your hands behind you. Lift your chest. Whatever arm and leg position you got, just breathe. Be like water. Be shapeless. Adapt. Just adapt to the situation you're in. Find something to be grateful about Navasana. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale. Let the shins cross. Let your feet find the floor. And then somehow make your way back to downward facing dog. So just get yourself back there somehow, some way. Take a couple of breaths here. Find any organic movement that you need. This may be your first down dog of the day. It might not be. But just notice how down dog feels. Without thinking too hard about it, what do you need here? Do you need movement or do you need some stillness? Take one more breath here in down dog. And then begin to let your knees find the floor and sit your hips back over your heels. Take your hands down to the mat here. And so the weight, I would like your weight to be loaded in your legs. So you might tuck your toes back there. I'm trying not to be in full on tabletop here because I just want to take some wrist stretches. So like you are a cat needing like carpet or something, whatever. It's been a while since I've had cats, but just kind of shift your weight from side to side in your hands. And the movement might be quite big at first. And then just start to lessen the movement. You're just shifting the weight from side to side, but the weight is also backloaded into the legs here. And then think about lifting the knuckles off the floor. So not the fingers, but the knuckles. It's almost like you're trying to cup the palms, like there's something just underneath the palm of the hand. And then sink the hips back towards your heels just a touch so that you can shift the position of your hands. Turn your fingers towards your knees. They may not turn all the way towards the knees. They might be turned kind of slightly out towards the sides of your mat. Go to where your structure allows. Again, not forcing anything, being adaptable, however your hands and wrists feel today. And the heel of your hand might not even find the floor in this particular variation. But again, just start to shift the weight from side to side, and the movement might be a little bigger at first. And then maybe it's just the fingers staying on the floor and the heels of the hands lifting. And then make that movement even smaller. So you would barely see any movement happening in the hands, but you're feeling the weight distributing differently between right and left. And then press down through the pads of the fingers and think about lifting the palm up off the mat. So the fingers aren't lifting, but the palm is. Subtle movement. Feel that stretch through the forearm. And then begin to release that. Maybe give yourself a few little wrist rolls there. And now you can sit back on your heels all the way if your knees allow. Take your right hand and take your thumb into the center of the palm. Curl all of your fingers over it. Straighten your arm and have your thumb pointed up towards the ceiling. And then turn your knuckles down, trying to keep your elbow as straight as possible. And then for some of you, if you don't already feel something here, you might take your left hand and just give a gentle assist to help tilt the knuckles slightly down towards the floor. This is one of my favorites. And slowly release that, and we'll just take the same thing on the other side. So take your left hand, thumb to the center, curl all 4 fingers over, straighten that arm out, turn the knuckles down, thumb pointed up towards the ceiling. You might feel enough here, or you may take your right hand and just give a very gentle assist. Great. And then from here, we're going to actually come into child's pose. So let your knees be a little wide. Hips back towards the heels, arms out, extended, and find some length here. Now, as we move through this next series, I want you to envision your spine like a wave, or like soft rope, or like perfectly cooked spaghetti, whatever visual means something to you. And we're going to try to articulate each and every vertebrae. So it will kind of be like cat-cow as we move through these shapes, but we're going to be moving between child's pose and cobra pose. So take a big breath in, ride the wave of your breath, and an exhale out. Now on your inhale, curl yourself forward, lifting, pressing down into the shins to curl yourself into a cat-like position. Begin to bend the elbows, let the pelvis come down to the floor, and pull the chest forward as you just shift very fluidly into cobra without thinking too much about it. And then exhale, press into the palms, tuck the chin into the chest, round into that cat-like shape, and then sink the hips back towards your heels. We're going to do 2 more like that. Inhale pulls you forward. Don't think too much about it. Move organically like a wave of water, eventually landing in cobra pose, pulling the chest forward. Exhale, press into the palms, round into the upper back through cat, back into child's. 1 more like that. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Use the whole inhale to pull forward. Try not to rush it. And then exhale back, child's pose. Now pause here. Now you might choose that just felt amazing and that's where you want to stay today. The next 3 will, however, be a little bit different if you choose to join me, and we'll be transitioning from down dog to up dog. So the toes will stay tucked in this up dog position. It's more of an Iyengar to up dog. But remember, you can be doing the child's to cobra variations as well. I will be cueing down dog to up dog, but we'll take 3 rounds wherever you're at. On your inhale, lift your heels. Round, tilt your pelvis, round through the upper back, through plank. The last thing to pull forward, drop the pelvis, pull the chest forward, and look slightly forward into this modification of up dog. And then exhale, tuck the chin in, round into the upper back, lift the hips, heels are higher on your tippy toes. And then exhale, lower the heels down to the floor. We got 2 more. Inhale, pulls yourself forward into either cobra or Iyengar up dog, whichever you're choosing. Use the whole inhale and then the whole exhale to take you back into either child's or downward facing dog. 1 more time. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Cobra or up dog variation. Exhale, round yourself back into either down dog or child's pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. If you're in child's pose, let's all meet in down dog. Nod the head yes, shake it no, open up your mouth, stick out your tongue, stretch all the muscles in your face. Be like water. Inhale, lift high on your toes. And on your exhale, bend your knees and take lots of little steps to your hands. So somehow, some way, just walk your way leisurely forward. Don't be in a rush. We rush a lot in life. Let's try not to be in a rush. Find ragdoll pose here. So let there be a generous bend to the knees, grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, and then sway the upper body from side to side. Again, like you're moving through water, as if the tips of your elbows are kind of just, I don't know, moving across the surface of water. And you're creating these ripples with your elbows. And come back through to release the hands. Inhale, lift up to a halfway lift. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, rise your arms high. On the exhale, goalpost the arms, lift through the chest. Inhale, rise the arms back up. And then exhale, forward fold, and imagine yourself diving into a pool. Inhale to a halfway lift. Now on your exhale, plant your hands and step your left foot to the back of the mat. Let the left knee land and take both hands to the inside of your right foot. So it's almost like a lizard lunge to start. So you might heel toe the right foot out a little bit. And then take your right hand and take it in front of your right foot. So your right tricep is in front of your right shin or knee. And just breathe here. So the hands are wide. They might even be off the mat. And we're going to take some cat-cow movements in the upper body here. And there might also be an encouragement to bend the elbows. So it almost looks like a weird cat-cow kind of push-up lizard lunge thing. So here, on your inhale, pull the chest forward. Let the elbows bend wide. Maybe come down a little lower. And then exhale, round into the upper back and let the elbows straighten if you bent them. Two more like that. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Let the elbows be wide. And then exhale, round into the upper back and straighten the arms. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come to neutral. Tuck your back toes. Lift your left knee. And walk yourself around to the left, coming into a low goddess pose. By low, I mean your knees are bent, hips are low, and your hands are on the floor or on blocks. Or if they don't quite reach, let your elbows rest on your inner thighs. Now here we're going to sway a little bit from side to side. And if you're comfortable with it, let your fingers kind of graze the floor as if they're kind of just moving through water underneath you. Find some fluidity of motion here. Might feel a little weird and awkward, but who cares? And then the next time you're over to the left, we're going to walk ourselves around to the left so we end up in that low lunge facing the back of the mat. You find the floor. Your hands are going to be on the outer edges of your mat, and your left tricep is in front of your left shin. Inhale, pull the chest forward, the elbows bend. It's like a little lizard lunge push-up. And then exhale, press the floor way round into the upper back. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come to neutral, tuck the back right toes, lift the right knee, walk around to the right. We're back in that low goddess or horse stance. Knees tracking over toes, and then find that swaying from side to side. If you like that idea of the fingertips kind of grazing the top of the surface of water, take that. Maybe you just envision it in your mind. And then the next time you're over to the right, walk yourself all the way back around. And then step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale your left leg high. On your exhale, step your left foot forward. Step the right foot forward. You're in a forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Same thing, but second side. Inhale, rise the arms high. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Lift through the chest. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Imagine that you're diving into a pool. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the fingertips. The right foot steps back this time and set yourself up for that lizard lunge. Now, if you want a little bit more fire in your water flow, lift the right knee off the mat this time. Otherwise, everything will stay the same. Inhale, pull the chest forward, elbows bend wide. Exhale, press the floor away, round into the upper back. 2 more. Inhale, pull the chest forward, elbows bend wide. Exhale, round into the upper back. 1 more time. Inhale, elbows bend. Exhale, and arms straighten. Inhale, come to neutral. You're gonna walk around to the right, coming into that wide goddess or horse stance. And then find just a few sways from side to side. Again, if you like that idea of letting the fingers brush across the surface of water, take it. And then the next time that you're over to the right, we're gonna walk the hands around to the right and set ourselves up for this lizard lunge thing, facing the back of the mat. Again, if you want a little bit more fire, keep the left knee off. Inhale, elbows pull the chest forward. Exhale, tuck in and round into the upper back. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come to neutral. Walk to the left in that wide goddess. Find a few sways from side to side. Again, like you're moving through water. Super fluid movement. You're not thinking too much about it. It's not rigid, too structured. Next time you're around to the left, walk the hands around. Pause in that lunge, facing the top of the mat. And then exhale back, down dog. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, step your right foot forward. You're in a lunge. And then exhale, step the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms rise. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Moving on. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Lift through the chest. Inhale, rise the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold and dive into your pool or your ocean. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga if you're going there. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale back, down dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale your right leg high. Starting a new series here. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Tap it out. Inhale back to a 3-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee over to left tricep. See if you can tap it. Inhale back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee step or right foot steps forward and pause. So you're in a lunge position here. Lower down the back left knee. Left hand's gonna stay on the floor to start. Inhale this right arm forward, reach it up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, let your right hand find your low back. Right at the back of the pelvis there. On your inhale, sweep your left arm up, press into your front right foot, and then find this reverse revolved low kneeling lunge. Now the right hand can stay on the sacrum there, or if your structure allows, you might take your right hand to the back of your left hamstring, whatever you got, but press into your right foot. Breathe there. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, let the left hand find the mat first, and then circle that right arm around and right hand finds the mat. Now this is where things might get a little awkward. Look back at your left knee and kick your left foot over towards the right side of your mat. And just rise up and you're in this kind of kneeling warrior 2 position. Now you can stay in this position a little higher, or if your left knee is okay with it, you can sit your hip back towards that left heel. And it looks more like a catcher's stance in baseball. Either way, whether you're high up here, right arm will come in front of that right knee, or if you're low here, right arm will come into that right knee and sweep the left arm up and over and take a side stretch. Now from here, your left hand, which is your top arm, is going to land at the back of the mat and rise up onto that left knee if it's not already there, and find this variation of Vashisthasana, supported version of Vashisthasana here on the side. Now, inhale here. This is where things also might get a little weird. On your exhale, sink back towards that heel a little or a lot, and sweep this right arm across the horizon, like you're looking off across the ocean and trying to reach for your back foot, your right foot. Inhale, come back into Vashisthasana. Exhale, sweep the arm across the horizon. Inhale, come back into side plank. One more time. Exhale, sweep that arm across the horizon. Inhale into side plank. Now on your exhale, let your right hand find the mat and sweep the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Same thing, second side. Exhale, left tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee over to right tricep. Get it to touch. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your left foot forward and pause. Lower down the back right knee. Right hand's going to stay on the floor. Inhale this left arm forward and up. And on the exhale, let the left hand find the sacrum. Inhale, the right arm lifts high. Find reverse revolved low lunge. And just pause here for a few breaths. The left hand can stay on the sacrum, or maybe it finds the right hamstring. Or maybe it's even just resting on your left thigh. Whatever feels most supportive, press into your left foot. Take a breath in there. And then on your exhale, circle the right hand down to the mat. And then the left hand. Here's where you kick your right foot over to the left. And either rise open into this kneeling warrior two-like shape, or you might come into this catcher's position. Left hand in front of the left foot. Inhale the right arm up and over. On your exhale, right hand finds the top of the mat and rise into Vashisthasana. Take an inhale here, and then on your exhale, let your hips come back towards that right heel. Sweep the left arm across the horizon, reach towards your left foot. Inhale, sweep that left arm up and over, back into supported side plank. Exhale, sweep across the horizon. One more time. Inhale into side plank. Exhale, sweep across the horizon. Inhale into side plank. On your exhale, let the left hand find the mat. And then inhale the right leg up and back into a three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. We're going to add on just a little thing here. Exhale, right knee over to left tricep. You might stay here or shoot that right leg through into fallen triangle. So come onto the pinky toe edge of your right foot and lift the left arm. Take an inhale there. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Inhale back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step the left foot through, or right foot through rather, and pause. You can take the knee down version of this, or can keep that left knee off the floor for more of a crescent lunge variation. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, sweep that right arm forward and up. On the exhale, let the right hand find the sacrum. Inhale, press into your right foot, lift the left arm and find reverse revolved lunge, whether it's crescent or low. And on your exhale, let the left hand find the mat. Let your right hand find the mat. Put the left knee down if it wasn't there already. Kick your left foot over and find either your catcher squat or that kneeling warrior two. Right arm in front of the right leg. Inhale the left arm up and over. Exhale, left hand to the back of the mat. Inhale the right arm up into Vashisthasana with the hips. Exhale, hips back to the heel. Find that sweeping across the horizon. Inhale into Vashisthasana. Two more. Exhale, sweep across the horizon. Inhale into side plank. Exhale, sweep across the horizon, looking over the ocean. Inhale into supported side plank. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Inhale the left leg high, three-legged dog. Same thing, second side. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee over right tricep. Either pause here or shoot that left leg into fallen triangle. Inhale the right arm high. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Inhale, left leg up and back, legged dog. Exhale, left feet and nose, foot forward, pause. You might lower down the right knee or not, you decide. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale the left arm forward and up. On the exhale, let the left hand press into your left foot. Inhale, the right arm reaches up. Find reverse revolved lunge. And then exhale, right hand to the mat. Left hand to the mat. Lower down the right knee if it's not there already. Kick your right foot over to the left. Find your catcher squat or kneeling warrior 2. Left arm in front of left knee. Inhale the right arm up and over. Exhale, right hand to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift into the supported side plank. On your exhale, hips back to the right heel. Sweep that left arm across the horizon. Inhale, back into this side plank variation. 2 more like that. Exhale, sweep across the horizon. Inhale, back into side plank. Ride your breath. Once more. Exhale, sweep across the horizon. Inhale, into side plank. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Inhale, right leg up and back. 3-legged dog. Exhale, both feet to the mat. Down dog. And we're going to take 3 of those vacillations between either child's and cobra pose or down dog and up dog. So choose whatever version you'd like to do. We did this early in class. Set yourself up 3 times. Inhale, coil yourself forward like a wave into either cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog or child's pose. 2 more. Inhale, use the whole breath to coil yourself forward like a wave, landing in cobra or up dog at the top of that inhale. And then exhale back, child's pose or down dog, using the whole exhale to get there. Once more, inhale, pull forward. And exhale, ride yourself back. And then everyone lower down the knees if they aren't there already. Take a moment to rest in child's pose. Or if child's pose doesn't suit you, just sit back on your heels. Find a couple of breaths here to settle in. Come back to that intention of being like water, finding fluidity of breath, of body, of mind. To be adaptable and to be calm in those transitions and in making those adaptations. We'll be taking one more standing series and movement around the mat. There will be familiar pieces with just a few variations. When you're ready, let's meet in downward facing dog. Fluidity. Embrace it through this final round of standing poses. Inhale, your right leg high. Beginning starts the same. On the exhale, right knee to right tricep. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee over to left tricep. Either pause there or shoot it through to fallen triangle. Take an inhale, maybe in fallen triangle. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Inhale, that right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step the right foot forward and choose either kneeling or crescent lunge legs. Left hand on the mat. Inhale, the right arm forward and up. And on the exhale, let the right hand find the sacrum. Press down into your front right foot. Inhale, lift the left arm up and find reverse revolved lunge. Stay here for a breath or two this time. Really press through that front heel so the legs are helping you here. Take one more breath in. Here's where things change. On the exhale, left tricep over to right thigh, find a twist. If this feels like it's too compressive today, just take an upright twist, reaching the right arm back and left arm forward. Choose a twist that feels nice. Press back through your left heel. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to open up into goddess, high goddess, more traditional goddess or horse. Shift your feet, knees tracking over your toes, and just allow your arms to find that very traditional posture to start. And then let your right forearm find your right thigh, and inhale this left arm up and over. Let it make a big circle. And then take the left forearm over to the left thigh. Inhale the right arm up and over, a big circle. Right arm over to right thigh. Inhale the left arm up and over. Left arm over to left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. This is going to be our last one. Take the right forearm over to the right thigh. Sweep the left arm up. Pause there. Shift your back left leg and find side angle. So we're just straightening the left leg and turning the left toes in. Trying to stay as low as you can there in your hips. Now, on your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach the right arm up and back. Keep what you created in the upper body and straighten your right leg. Finding sky archer pose or reverse triangle. It's called different things. Now, listen up here. Keep your upper body exactly as it is. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Bend into your left knee and take side angle at the back of the mat. Aha. Inhale into reverse warrior. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat and pause. Your right hand is going to stay down. Inhale the left arm high into a twist. Now this is new as well. We're going to heel toe the left foot down the mat halfway and roll onto the pinky toe edge of your right. We're coming into a different variation of supported Vashisthasana. Take an inhale here, lift the right hip away from the floor. And then exhale, lower the right hip down like you want to tap your right hip into a pool. Inhale, lift that right hip up. Sweep that left arm up and over. Exhale, tap the right hip down or let it hover. Once more, inhale, lift that right hip. And exhale, lower the right hip. And this time, let the right hip and the side of that right leg lower down. Now for me, my right wrist does not like this. So I need to slide my right hand away from my right hip to give my right wrist a little bit more space to breathe. You can also come down onto the right forearm. And we're just going to linger here in this kind of lounge lizardy shape. You might take your left arm to that left thigh or knee. Some of you might like the sensation of just gently guiding the left thigh away from you. But just find a way that you can allow the right ribs to hammock down towards the floor. You might even let the right ear drop down towards the top of the right shoulder. Coming back to that intention of fluidity, of adaptability. Even in awkward shapes, in awkward moments. Now you can stay here. One final shape on this side will be to lift up your left foot, put the left foot behind the right knee. If you came down onto the forearm, I would suggest you come up onto that right wrist or right hand. And we're going to press into the right hand, sole of the left foot, and the outside of your right foot, and lift the hips into wild thing. So we're pressing down to lift the hips and find wild thing. Open up the heart towards the sky. Get expansive. Take one more inhale there. And then exhale, right yourself around. Wherever you were, come back into plank pose. You should be facing the back of the mat. And then exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Last time through. Left knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee over to right tricep. You might linger here, which is hard. Shoot that left leg through into fallen triangle. Inhale, maybe that right arm reaches high. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. Exhale, left knee to nose, step the left foot forward and pause. Kneeling or crescent lunge, you choose. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale that left arm forward and up. And on the exhale, let the left hand find the sacrum. Push it down into your left foot. Inhale, the right arm up, maybe slightly back. Find that reverse revolved lunge. Take one more inhale there. And then on your exhale, come into your twist. Right tricep over to left thigh, or something that looks a bit more upright. You choose. Press back through your right foot. Lift the right hip bone away from the floor. Now try to stay low here. On your next inhale, open up to the right. Bend and open up that right leg into goddess pose. Find that fluidity of movement there. Maybe sway a little bit from side to side like we did in that low goddess. Feeling it out, finding that fluid movement there. And then let your left forearm find your left thigh and sweep that right arm up and over. Big, huge circle. Right forearm over to right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. One more to each side. Left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches up and over. Right arm to right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. Now take that left arm over to the left thigh, right arm up by the right ear, and just straighten that right leg and turn the right toes in for side angle, trying to stay nice and low. On your inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep your upper body as it is. Straighten your left leg. Sky archer pose. Now keep your upper body as it is. Turn your left toes in. Turn your right toes out and bend into your right knee, and you're in side angle at the top of the mat. Inhale, reverse. Almost there. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches high. And then heel toe the right foot down the mat about halfway, coming into that variation of Bhakthisthasana. Inhale, lift the left hip up. Exhale, lower left hip down. Two more, like you're moving through water. Inhale, lift that left hip up. Maybe the right arm reaches up and over. And then exhale, let the left hip hover. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. This time, lower down the whole length of that left leg. Readjust your left hand if you need to. Setting it up so that your wrist feels like it has the space it needs. Left shoulder can kind of hike up by the left ear. And just find a place where you can encourage the left rib cage to hammock towards the mat. Not thinking too much about it. Just feeling it rather than thinking it. And then again, you can choose just to linger here. If you took Wild Thing on the other side, we're going to offer it here. So step the right foot behind the left knee. Slide the left hand in if you shifted it at all so that you have a nice stable base. And then inhale, lift the hips, Wild Thing. Rotating the ribs towards the ceiling, chest towards the ceiling as best you can. Take a breath in there. The exhale, wherever you were or are, come into high plank. And then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. 3 more of those movements between child's and cobra or down dog and up dog. So set yourself up. Last 3 times. Move and ride the wave of your breath, but also imagine your spine like a wave, like you're moving through water. On your inhale, coil yourself forward. Use the whole inhale to get you to your destination, whether that's cobra or up dog. A little modification of up dog. And then exhale, down dog or child's. 2 more. Inhale. The whole inhale gets you there. Don't rush it. And then the whole exhale brings you back. Fluidity of movement. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then lower down the knees if they aren't there already. And we're going to make our way onto our backs, setting up for bridge pose. And we'll take a few moments there just to pause on our backs. Take a feeling moment. And I'm coming back to this position that we started in. And just noticing any shifts, changes, whether it's to your mood or space you may have created physically in the body, in the mind. Noticing if you feel more at ease, or perhaps maybe a little flustered at moving in new ways. And just noticing and not judging, just noticing. I'm going to start with the same pelvic tilt motion that we did very early in class. We'll take 3 of those, and then we'll add the lifting and lowering through bridge, taking these, ending with these oscillating bridge poses with the movement of the arms, if that feels good to you. So anchor down through your feet. And let's alternate the breath this time so that the inhale will curl your pubic bone towards the low ribs. You'll feel the arch in the low back flatten out a bit. That's your inhale. And then the exhale, tilt the pelvis towards the backs of your heels and feel the low back arch. Inhale, curl the pubic bone towards the low ribs. So we're only moving the pelvis here. Exhale, tilt the pelvis towards the backs of the heels. One more just like that. Inhale, curl pubic bone to low ribs. And exhale. Now we'll lift and lower through bridge, but let your arms just be where they are. Inhale, curl pubic bone to low ribs and lift and rise into bridge. And then exhale, lower 1 vertebrae at a time and let the back of the pelvis just tap. One more just like that. Inhale, lift the sacrum, low back, middle back, upper back. Exhale, lower the upper, the middle, the lower back, and let the back of the pelvis tap. Now we're going to add the arms. Inhale as the hips rise, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then on the exhale, as the hips lower, let the arms sweep down towards the backs of the heels. And use the whole breath, just like we've been trying to do all class. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift the hips, let the arms sweep up and over. Get a full inhale there. Don't stop moving until the inhale is full. And then exhale, let the back of the pelvis tap and allow the arms to sweep down. Once more, inhale. And exhale. And with the whole spine on the floor. Let the arms come out like goalposts or like a T. Hug the knees in towards your chest. And let the knees drop over to the left. Just a simple spinal twist. Let the eyes be soft or closed. And in these final shapes, ride the wave of your breath. Let it be fluid. Let it be full. And let it be unrushed. Find some gentle awareness around the core there so that you feel some support as you draw the knees back through center. Take a breath in there. And then on your exhale, let the knees drop over to the right. Take one more breath here. Just find some gentle support around the core. Draw the knees back in through center. Let the feet find the floor and then extend the legs long. Extend the arms long. Try not to be touching anything you don't need to touch. And in keeping with our fluid theme, ocean and bodies of water, you allow yourself to take up a lot of space like a starfish. Ride your breath as you settle into Shavasana. If you have the time to linger in Shavasana, Absolutely stay as long as you like, as long as you can. If you're on more of a schedule, just begin to bring some awareness to your fingers and your toes. Place your left hand over your heart, right hand on your stomach, connecting to the beating of your beautiful heart, this fluid movement of the diaphragm and of the lungs and the ribs as they take the breath in and let the breath out. As they take the breath in and let the breath out. And slowly begin to hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself another squeeze. A thank you for making it onto your mat. Roll off to your favorite side and gently press yourself up to sit, maybe keeping the eyes closed or soft for that transition. And as we close together, I'd like to again just bring the words of Bruce Lee to mind. I mentioned it at the very beginning of class. Be like water making its way through the cracks. Empty your mind and be formless, shapeless, like water. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find your way around or through. I honor the place in each of you in which the entire universe dwells, and I honor the place in each of you that is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. Thank you so much for your practice today. Hope you all are feeling good. If you're still in Shavasana, enjoy it. Linger there. And sending all of you lots of love out into the world. Sending you all a big hug. And I hope that we will see each other in person soon. Oh, you're so welcome, Lee. Be like water. I'll see you all soon. Oh, you're so welcome, Annalie. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, I guess, most likely where you are. I'll see you all soon. Lots of love. Big hug. Till next time. Bye, everyone.